Welcome back, everyone. Sorry if you tried to catch me on the scheduled live stream. Technical issue there with YouTube not being a complete whiz kid. So I set up a new stream and hopefully you are with me and we will crack on with the build. So back to the box. As we spoke about before, like to get all of the bits and bobs out before we get going. So I've done up to step 7. So we want the rest of the steps, but I'm not going to get all the bags out just yet. So step 12, 10, 12, 16 is step 8. 18, 17, step 9, 10, 12, just stick those in the back, and 11. Let's go with those just for now. I was just watching Steve Donald over on YouTube. Looks like he was having a bit of an issue with his servo saver fitting the different one. If you bear with me 1 second. Sorry, folks. Right back. The door went, and I had to answer up for the parcel man who's just delivered me the new wheels. Yesterday, I got my delivery from Schumacher, and they delivered, instead of 10 boxes of LMP wheels, they delivered 10 boxes of GT12 wheels. So these are the new wheels. That's great news. So I can fit those on. I'll true those up and fit them onto the car. But that's the new attachment. The hex on the back. Fantastic. So well done, Schumacher. Great customer service. Getting that sorted for me. Kaz James, I think he is. Coffee on the go. Lovely jubbly. All right, so step 8. Let's get this bag open. What are we doing here in the manual? Step 8 is a bit of damper love. Now, because I'm not going to be racing this anytime soon, I'm not going to fill them up with damper oil. A bit of a waste of time. Don't want it going all dry. Well, it's going to go dry, but that makes no sense to me to fill those up. So let's get those built. These are new to the Eclipse 4. They're a much thicker damper, which allows you to pop oil, silicone oil, actually in the thick part of the damper tube, rather than having to which allows you to therefore get a much better covering of oil in the damper itself, which I think is a great move forwards. Same size hex as touring car. My next question is, what's the size of a hex on a touring car? I don't have a touring car, and so feel free, if you know what that is, I will give it a measure for you gladly. These are dampers, different lengths. These are the fitments. So we've got 2 dampers. So they're all the same size. Okay, cool. So, this end, you screw the let me know if the music's too loud or if you can't hear it at all, and I'll turn it up or turn it down. Cool, they are a fair bit bigger. Ant is my partner in crime on the podcast, which, Ant, we need to do another podcast. It'd be good to get back on the road. Podcast. Have a chat, talk about the year ahead, blah, blah, blah. You never think these cars take that long to build, but that video I did this morning was like an hour and a half long now. So it's not that long. If you build a buggy, which I've got into some buggy racing, crikey, they bloody take forever to build. Good fun though. If you've not done any buggy racing. There we go. Dampers built. Oh. Step 8. So these are 2 different sizes. So you've got the center damper is definitely bigger than the side dampers. If you haven't noticed already and you've just tuned in and you weren't with me earlier on, talk to me about the black inserts instead of those brass ones. Ugh, that's too difficult for my little hands. Oh, shit. Whew. Sorry, just taking a swig of my coffee there. What's that? Fab stuff. Right, let's move on. Step 9 is the new front brace where the ball joints you now have to insert. On the old car, let me show you. If you weren't with me yesterday when I did a review of it, let me get it. These are that was the old front lower beam. It came with these obviously inserted already. Well, now they're as part of the build process, which is a bit of fun, I suppose, if you that's all in. So step 9. So, if the music's too loud, let me know. If it's not loud enough, equally let me know. Drown me out. The new front posts, which are really cool, they've got a very small, hold that up close to the camera. They've got a really fine lip here down at the bottom, which is going to stop that stiction where the hub would come down and stick between the metal and the bottom of the kingpin, which is great. So just making sure I've got the orientation right. These push up and through. Very simple fit. And then the O-ring whips over the top. Push up. O-ring pulls over the top. That's that. And then the posts go on the outside. If you weren't with me earlier, everything that I'm building here, I'm using plenty of Loctite because pretty much I don't think I've screwed a bolt into any plastic yet. All been into bolts into metal. Oh, shit, sir. Last thing you want is getting 8 minutes in or 6 minutes in and then finding your car just feels a little bit different to the first 4. And it's all because bolts started coming loose. No worse feeling to come back and go, oh, bollocks, that was loose and that was loose. And you know the drill. So that's the lower beam done. Now step 10, front hubs, park that to the side. If you've not subscribed to the channel, make sure while you're here you do so. You won't miss out on any videos, live streams, Got an Ackerman video coming out later today. The front hubs are different. They're a different material by the feels of things. Yeah, feel much smoother, less harsh metal on metal. It's a nice touch. I think one thing that I've really noticed about Schumacher is the quality of the parts. And again, I think it's important to stress, I'm not a Schumacher driver. I paid full price for this kit. I am, however, a contact tyre driver. I run their tyres. They help me out on a tyre deal. That's one thing I am, but no form of Schumacher driver myself. So we've got front axles here that we're going to put together. I think the nice thing that X-Ray did was they went to all black with everything, you know, real stealth look. The thing that really annoyed me, love X-Ray, got the car, will be running it, is that they then put silver nuts in. You have to go and buy silver nuts. I just don't get that. It frustrates me. Anyway. But with Schumacher, they've supplied black black nuts, black washers, but then they supply brass inserts. Again, makes no sense to me. And they even sell the brass inserts. I mean, I know they want people to hop up and upgrade, but I think that these days of needing to go and buy more bits, I think people are not at it with it, but it's just a frustration that you have to, well, buy the kit. Now what else do I need? You get the kit home, you build it, and then you've got to hop all these parts up. Just sell me what I need. I understand the price will be what it will be, but it's my option to whether to buy that or not buy that. Just include it, man. Must be the coffee that's making me a bit tetchy. So we got this car is just like bulletproof because it's everything metal. So on to step 11. Step 11. Right. So I'm just going to build this. I'm just building this as kit form. Other than if you join me in the earlier video, I've got the aluminium pivot that they sell, and if I haven't mentioned it, and once I've mentioned it a few times now, the black inserts instead of those ghastly brass ones. Those are the only pop-ups that I purchased, and the optional part of the mass stamper, which I will build, and I'll do a separate video on that. So if you can see, yeah, there's a very, very, very small gap between. So these are these shims, the droop shims, and when I push them down onto the post here, there's a very, very small gap between the shim and the fat part of the post, which is that gap is now because of that small lip that they've added in, which is a stop that stitching, as I mentioned earlier. So 3 of those droop shims. So as I remember, I'm not adding any oils to this. You would then fire the oil down, you go through your process of making that all nicely lubricated. As I say, this is going to sit in the cupboard for a little while, so I'm not going to be getting it race ready. Then we've got the 2 springs that sit on top. You know, I think this was probably the revelation of many people, this front end, because of the robustness of it. Came from part of their GT12 car, etc. The camber strap that it now comes with, I didn't cover that last night actually, comes with a 1.5 camber strap. It used to come with a 1 camber strap, which nobody ran. So why supply it with a 1.3 camber strap? Makes no odds. But now comes with a 1.5, which is excellent. Really, I mean, dry, they definitely move smoother up and down. Bear in mind these are dry. So that's that. What goes on? That's going to go on there. Now we need, in step 12, we're now putting the front on the car. We've got the different shims to adjust the ride height and the amount of caster that you want. Now I am going to reach across for my E3 here. I'm just double checking what I have for that. B and A, B and A, B and A. So they go. So it's the ride height. So this is the whole sheet on the other side here. So these 2 shims here are going to set the angle this sits at on the car. So the shims pitch the front of the car up. So on the other side of the page, you're going to work out what sort of tyre size you're going to run on the front of the car and how much caster you're looking for. Well, I'm looking for 4 degrees of caster, and I'm going to run around 39.5 worth of tyre size. 39.5, yeah. So that will give me a 3. Yeah, okay. So 39.5. So that's no spacer and half a mil spacer. So A, that you don't have any. So A don't have any on the front, and the one on the spacer B is half mil. So I just need a half mil spacer. Because if it's too, no, actually, yeah, I'm sure that's right. Yeah, that's right. I haven't got space under there yet. So they've done this time. They've got some shims that you can adjust ride height with that are much easier to slide in and out. That was one of my big gripes with the old car. Changing ride height on the front is brutal. half mil. One of those. Don't need any more of those, do I? So another last carbon bit out of the bag. So that's going to sit there. I want half a mil shim in there. Give me 4 degrees of caster. Now, depending on your ride height, of course, the bigger the tyre size, the more space you're going to need to have here to push the car chassis down. So they've got different lengths of bolt here. So I'm going to use the shorter of the bolts on the front. Holding the bolts from underneath with my fingers, screwing the top bit in. Right. Oh, a bit easier than that. That's that. That's step 9. I'm talking about step 12. Now we're on to step 13 and the rear axle. So let's get the box back out. Where have I put it? "13, 14, 16, 15, 19, 18, 17. Boom. Racer log. Wow. Step by step, this is getting serious. Yeah, well, aim to please and all that. Racer log. When in lockdown, give what the crowd wants. Or what they don't want. Listen to me drone on. I'm sure they don't, but plenty of haters out there, but no. Fuck them. So here we are. Comes with a spur gear. I would advise strongly to Loctite these bolts in, because if there's one bolt that you don't want letting go, that is the bolt in your spur gear. Might make a mess. Black spur gear as well. It's all just absolute stealth. Where are you, Racerlog? Where are you from? You from the US? With a cool name like that. This goes together really nice. Welcome along, everyone. If you're a first timer, make sure you subscribe, like the page. Won't miss any of the videos that I do going forwards. So bag 14. Bag 14. That's a really nice. Let's just, where's the wheel? Let's get a wheel. Oh, how cool is that? Push fit hex. Goes on really nice. Really cool. Total RC addict right here. So step 14, fitting the axle, the inserts, width of the axle spacers to set the width of the car. Let's get that bag out. What have I got in this E3 here? Just checking what insert I've got in here. 1.0s. Man, getting old in your eyes now. Brutal. So let's get those inserts in there. No, a nice fit, not silly tight, but not loose either. So what I would normally do is I would stick some oil on these bearings, but as I'm not going to be racing anytime soon, I'm just going to leave them as is. Two shims on the left. And 2 shims on the right. And that just pushes on. Well, again, I would get myself a 1/2 mil shim, push it in between this stub axle here. I would push it in between the axle and the bearing, and then tighten it up so I've got a nice gap for the wheels to spin without jamming up against it. But again, as I'm not running it, it's not essential at the moment. Very cool. That's that. Now, step 15 is fitting the servo. I'm not going to fit the servo because the reason why I'm not going to do that is I'm not going to fit any electrics. I'm just going to build this car without any electrics, and I want to do weigh it up against the other car and see what weight reduction there is between the two. So the worst bit of any build is the turnbuckles. Would rather shoot yourself in the head. So step 16. Got a video coming out later on Ackerman. Stay tuned for that. Quite an interesting topic. If you're new to the channel, make sure you like and subscribe. It'd be great to have you back for more videos. I'm going to take this on the road to race meetings. See if we can get a bit more in the way of interaction. Enjoying this hobby we all love. That needs to be 16.15. I'm going to go too silly on that because you're going to need to adjust it on the car. You might have a different servo saver you're using. I'm not using the kit servo saver, so not vitally important that they're spot on. I would always make sure that both of those are exactly the same length when I'm centering the servo, but I'm going to talk you through that. Take the saver out. Comes with alloy posts, aluminium posts. Really nice touch as well. No upgrades needed there. Oh, Jesus. That's that done. So as I say, the servo would have been fitted in step 15. Step 17 is fitting the bumper and body posts. Hey Roland, how are you, pal? Where are you from, my man? Video coming out this weekend on the new Moody Falls wheel arch reamer, or wheel arch cutter, should I say. Stay tuned for that. That's a cracking bit of kit. Really enjoyed using that. I'm going to do a video on that for you. Where I'm mounting my shell. So we've got these body posts. Locate. I'm surprised I'm not getting text messages already about cutting the body posts down. Passionate folk about long body posts. No, not that. Open on the front. That. One more plank post to go. Greetings from Poland. Hello. What do you think about new wheel mount? Well, good question earlier in the stream that I did. I think a few things. If it's lighter, it's got to be better. I've got 6 bolts spinning around. 18% lighter has to be a positive, rotating mass and all that. And I think it's a bit of a coup for Schumacher. You know, if I'm not a team driver, by the way, I'm not sponsored by Schumacher. I'm just an addict about RC. If the wheels do make the car quicker and perform better on an already pretty good performing car, I think people are going to want to use the wheel design and the axle, which is going to make people want to go buy their axles, go buy their wheels. So until the guys come out with new wheels, I think it's going to be. I think it's a great bit of innovation, but all undecided, all untried and tested by us all because we haven't been racing. But they obviously see something in it, so it can only be a good thing. What do you think? How do you think it's going to be? Whereabouts do you race? I assume you'd be racing near Michael Orlowski's club, on-road club. And that fantastic baggy track that I've seen practicing around as well. Let me know. So they're the body posts and the front bumper set. We've got some adjustable inserts for the body posts, low, medium and high position, which is really good. I never really appreciated that. Saves you having to use rubber or O-rings. And then the fixing of the wheels. Well, let's do that. I've got the wheels now. They're a little bit fat in their size, but let me just go get some wheels. I will be right back. Didn't need to go anywhere. They're right here. Contact tires, T-foam. They even come with black wheel nuts. How good's that? Love a black wheel nut. If you're new to the page and you haven't subscribed while you're here, make sure you subscribe. You won't miss out on any of the videos that are coming up over the weekend. Mounting shells, fitting electrics, Ackerman info, tyre slip angles, traction, loads coming your way, keeping me occupied in this lockdown time in the UK. And then, my friends, there you have it. That is the Eclipse 4 from Schumacher. A step-by-step guide on how to build it. Personally, another enjoyable build. I really enjoyed building all of the cars. X-Ray, Schumacher, Automatics. It's been great fun. Any questions you might have while we're online? What I'm going to do now is I'm going to weigh this car. I'll do a video on that. I'm going to weigh this car. I'm going to weigh the Eclipse 3 side by side, give you some insight into the weight differential, because we're going to be fitting a potential mass damper to this car, so it's going to need to be a bit lighter to accommodate that, or else they're going to end up being an extremely heavy car. So it'll be interesting to see. So Roland says old school Corrali had a hex mount too, so I don't know what I should think. Yeah, well, listen, on the rear of these cars, this insert format that was used on cars like the Yokomo YRX12, and then X-Ray, Roche, all those guys went across to the aluminium inserts and ride height adjusters with shims, etc. And now we've all gone back to this. So listen, sometimes it's evolution, not a revolution. So going backwards and forwards, cyclical in all these different ideas. I think the main thing is it's keeping us all engaged in a hobby that we love. So we'll see how this goes. Ultimately, racing against your pals, having a blast at the track, and fiddling with your car is a bit of fun, isn't it? Okay, chaps, thanks for coming along and listening to me waffle on. Hopefully you've learned something, and we'll see you all again sometime soon.